but we went on the Groton.
Check, 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 check. 1, 2.
That was very cool. We went out past Block Island.
Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Check, check.
I did have one a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But she got married. Representative Cadden. Is it Caden Cadden? Emily. Emily. How do you say Sarah's last name? Cadden, thank you. Is it still Cadden?
I don't know, Sarah, are you still chatting?
Is it still Cadden? For tonight it's Cadden. Whether you got changed it when you got married or not, we're going with Cadden. I want to let you know I was trying. Still trying. 7:40. Okay. Okay. Representative Gauthier would like to tuck in her babies tonight, so we got to get this done quickly. It's been a long election cycle. All right. Thank you, Sean. All right. We are calling to order the final meeting of the 33rd RTM. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, and it is 7:04 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Representative Adams. Here. Amboise.
He's on the.
Here.
Bailey. Here. Burrell.
Here.
Brennan. Wright's not here. Casper.
Here.
Serve. Chase. Here. Cobb. Crockett Hubbard. Dean Shimbra.
She's here.
She's here.
She's muted, just muted.
Okay. Evans not here. Frickman. Ritchie.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Gauthier.
Here.
Gibbs. Gustafson.
Here.
Hainline.
Here.
Hanscom.
Here.
Ivy. Cadden.
Here.
Massett,
Here.
McElroy,
Here.
Merritt, Norman,
Here.
Aubrey,
Here.
Perry,
Here.
Kristen Powers,
Here.
Sean Powers,
Here.
Pacino,
Here.
Scott, Cimarero,
Scott's here.
Cimarero,
Here.
Thomas,
No.
Beasy Williams,
Here.
Watson,
Here.
Weaver, Wells,
Here.
Whitney,
Here.
and Russ.
Thank you. So we have 30 present, that's a quorum. If we could all stand for a moment of silence. Representative Massett, if you could please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item on our agenda is approval of the RTM October 11th, 2023 minutes. Are there any corrections? Seeing none, they are approved as they are written. This is the time of public petition. This is the portion of the RTM agenda where the RTM welcomes comments from the public. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or as directed, and if possible, submitted written comments. Presentations should be limited to matters pertinent to the town of Groton. The moderator or members through the moderator shall ask questions only in order to clarify the speaker's presentation. Responses may be given by the moderator and/or town manager. Individuals should state their name and address for the record. Is there anybody here who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none. We will move on to the report of the town manager. I'm sorry, receipt of communications. Any communications? Okay, I have a few. Representative Eben stated she could not come tonight. Representative Bright and Representative Thomas also let me know. That is it for that. Any other communications? Okay. Move on to the town manager's report.
Good evening. The finance report, preliminary fund balance as of June 30th, 2023, unaudited, is approximately $31.6 million, which is 22% of the FYE 23 general fund adopted budget. Let's see, there is, the only thing that was changed upcoming is the increase to the debt service that was passed. Contingency budget for FY24 was appropriated at $300,000. As you probably recall, the RTM recently approved the $40,500 for Groton sale. So that's been the only expenditure from there. And then the capital reserve fund balance as of June 30th, 2023 is estimated at $2.2 million, which is the highest I've ever seen that balance. Town manager update, not a lot to report. If you've been in downtown Mystic, we installed some, Public Works installed some solar trash compactors, which have worked out great. They've definitely saved some staff time there. Finance department, we finally have enough staff in our tax division. We've been closed during lunches for a couple months. We're starting December 1st. We'll be opening in during lunch. We finally have enough staff to do that, so that'll be good. And as you may recall, the Brian Hancock retired, the IT director. We have a new director starting next Monday, Jay Main. So excited we found someone pretty quickly. Now our network administrator had also left, so we've got to get that filled. And that's all I have.
Any questions? Yes, Representative Foster.
Thank you. Manager Burt, could you please give us some more information about the TOTE meeting that's happening on November 15th and what the intent for that public hearing is?
Sure. Yeah, the next town-owned property,
Evaluation?
yeah, probably that. TOP committee is on November 15th at 5 PM at the Town Hall Annex in the big room, CR1, where the council meets. SB Butler will be, well, first the staff will report what do we have on file for anything for information-wise on it. We're gathering information to see what we have, and then public comment is accepted that night, because this will be the first time there's ever been a discussion or anything on SB Butler in terms of what we're gonna do in the future. So it's the kickoff of the longer process.
And so for the two school properties that the TOP previously voted to go to RFP, Pleasant Valley and Groton Heights, will the public have a chance to comment on those before developer proposals come in, or do we
Yeah,
have to wait until there's developer proposals?
No, before the council, there's two times the policy has public comment. And what I'm doing next week is on the 15th is kind of a bonus thing. When the council gets the recommendation, I don't have the policy in front of me, but before they approve whatever they're gonna do, I believe they have one public hearing then, and then once you go further, before you actually sell the property, before you actually approve it, they have another one at that point, so.
But the recommendation will be formulated prior to a public comment session? And then
Yeah.
they'll just vote on it after public comments on it,
Yes.
without a chance to change the recommendation necessarily?
They can do what they want, yeah.
Okay,
That's
thank you.
following the policy, yes.
Representative Norman.
Could you tell us for the job postings you mentioned where folks could find those online or otherwise if they're interested?
Sure, if you go to the groton-ct.gov, and if you go under our Human Resources Department, you'll see job opening listings there. Thanks for mentioning that, yes. And we have plenty of openings, so take a look.
All right. Seeing nothing else, we will move on to the Finance Committee. Chairman Powers.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Tuesday, November 6th, we had a meeting. Started at 7. Those present were Representative Chase, Fritchie, Massett, Gardner, Norman, Scott, myself, Manager Burt, Moderator Rusk, Director Hanover, and Director Berry were there. The new business was the 2023-2 DECD grant for the rowing barn roof replacement. Representative Chase read into the record the resolution. It was moved and seconded by Representative Massett. Manager Burt gave us a brief overview of the building with funding requests at $70,000. The grant is for $60,000, which would cover the roof costs. So Director Hanover explained further needs for the building maintenance and upkeep. The building is used frequently during the rowing season. This will be a first step, and scraping and painting will be also in the future maintenance upkeep. Chairman Powers asked for a vote. 7 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions, and the motion passed. Read the whole resolution.
Read the resolution, and then we'll ask Director Berry and Director Hanover to come on.
Do you have it? Representative Chase, could you read the?
The one we had last night, are they on the?
Yes, the one we had last night.
Maybe I don't have it. Let's see, rowing, got it. All right, 2023-900-2 DECD grant rowing barn roof replacement. Resolution accepting $60,000 from the State Bond Commission for repairs to the rowing barn at Spicer Park. Whereas the town applied to the State Bond Commission for funding to repair the rowing barn at Spicer Park, and whereas the town received $60,000 from the State Bond Commission, now therefore be it resolved that the town accept the $60,000 from the State Bond Commission to make the necessary repairs to the rowing barn at Spicer Park. I so move.
Second.
So the motion was made by Representative Chase, seconded by Representative Sean Howard. Director Hanover, Director Berry, do you want to come up in case anyone has any questions?
And I do have to point out a mistake I made when at the Finance Committee meeting. I had 70, I think initially there was talk of 70,000 for this project, but we actually did end up requesting 60,000, so we did get the full amount requested. Now, we'll see if that does pay for everything, but just to point that out.
Are there any questions? Representative Aubrey.
Thank you, Ken, sir. I was just wondering, what was the total price for this project?
Can you put that microphone really close to you, because people online are not going to be able to hear you? Okay,
I'm sticking in my
not that close.
Okay. Is that the full price? What's the full price for the roof?
The question is, what's the full price for the roof?
Oh, guys.
The $60,000 is anticipated to pay for the roof replacement and, any sheeting that's rotten underneath and the fascia around the roof itself.
So that's the whole job?
That's the top part. And then we would probably look for additional money to do the scraping and painting of the sides and replace rotted wood around the sides and on the doors and windows.
But that's another item?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we are voting on approving $60,000 for the repairs of the rowing barn at Spicer Park. All those in favor, please say aye, and those online, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay. If you are online, if you could keep your hand raised if it's a yes, just so that I know where we're at. Okay, if you can put your hands down, please. All those opposed? All those abstaining? Representative B.C. Williams and Representative Hanscom, are those yeses or nos?
I was a yes.
Okay, thank you. Represent. Okay, thank you. Then that passes 30 to 0 to 0. Chairman Powers.
Okay, our next item for discussion was 2023-864-2 CIP deficit P&R. The resolution was approved. The resolution to approve additional funds for the completion of Part 4 and the Calvin Burrows bathroom projects to meet the ADA requirements for the town. Representative Gardner read into the record the resolution, and so moved the resolution, seconded by Representative Chase. Manager Burt explained the project process and the need for the increased cost, the money spent on the project so far. The abatement project was $187,000, where the original cost estimate was $125,000. We had architectural costs and design costs, which were $47,475 and $9,290 for the asbestos abatement piece to the design costs. There is a DEP grant for a portion of this project, which is $285,000. Additional funds of $400,000 will come from the CIP, and the balance due to the funds having a $2 million surplus from cost savings from other other projects that we had as CIPs. The committee asked questions about the cost overruns, the renovation design of Par 4, the Burrows project, the compliance standards of ADA. The discussion on the cost, along with the grants, will be further discussed tonight in our meeting, and clarify the costs of the two projects. We all received a handout, I believe, from Manager Burt that we can go through. The grant money from DEP is key in lowering the overall cost and the needs and we need to use it, or we're going to not, use it or lose it kind of scenario. The committee agreed that the costs will continue to rise, and the bids received are only good for the next 2 months, and then you have to go out to bid again. Chairman Powers asked for a vote. 6 were in favor, 1 opposed. Representative Gardner, 0 abstentions, and the motion passed. I'd like to have Representative Chase read that in, please, to the record. Thank you.
2023-864-2-CIP funding deficits. Excuse me, Parks and Rec. Resolution approving an additional $400,000 for the completion of the Par 4 and Calvin Burrows bathroom projects. Whereas the town approved funds in the FYE 22 budget to renovate the bathroom at Par 4 and Calvin Burrows Field to meet ADA requirements, and whereas the town bid both projects, and whereas both project bids were higher than what was budgeted, now therefore be it resolved that the town appropriate an additional $400,000 from Capital Improvement Project Fund balance to complete the 2 bathroom projects. I so move.
Motion was made by Representative Chase, seconded by Representative Adams. Thank you.
And then he brought visuals if you want to have him go through it.
That'd be fantastic.
Okay. And in case you didn't see it, I did put out a handout for the costs involved with these, so if not, they're up at the table. And Greg did bring in digital of what's going on. Give me one sec.
Representative Bailey, can you wait until we do the presentation first?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I have a question, and it's kind of what if, but.
Can we wait with the questions until, hold on one second, only because you're on
I'm
Zoom.
sorry.
We're just going to show a presentation and then we'll get to questions, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Calvin, what do you want to do? First. So just click on whichever one you want.
All right, we'll start with the Par 4. And just to kind of orient everybody here, this is the clubhouse at the Par 4. The top of the page is Plant Street. I can't see where's my cursor? So there it is. This is the main entrance down here, kind of at the bottom of the V. There's a handicap ramp that we put in a few years ago, so that this is where all the patrons coming to the restaurant come in. The pro shop is off to the right. What we're looking at doing is renovating the existing locker room and bathroom area so that it's ADA compliant for the restaurant, and also so that this is important, so that it's accessible to the golf course when the restaurant is closed. The restaurant normally opens about 11:30, so in the morning there are no accessible restrooms for the golf course itself. So as part of this project, we'll be creating this vestibule right off the deck here that people can come in here. They won't be able to get into the restaurant, but they will have access to the new restrooms. And there'll also be an access from, this is the porch on the left here where the Par 4 uses in the summertime. There will be an access to the restrooms directly from that porch. This plan is to completely gut this whole area and rebuild it for new bathrooms. Let me scroll down to the detail here. And this over in the left corner here, this is the kind of the detail. So when you walk in, you'll have a vestibule here. If you go to the right, you come down a corridor, and then here's the men's and women's rooms. The men's room has a couple sinks, a couple urinals, and a toilet, and the women's room has 3 toilets and a couple sinks. All ADA accessible.
Zoom in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it a little easier to see. There's also a couple leftover spaces here. One's a storage area off the vestibule, and then we have a janitor's area down at the bottom here with a mop sink in it. Prior to doing this project, we did need to do an asbestos abatement project. This area under this part of the clubhouse is actually a crawl space and had a dirt floor. And there was asbestos insulation on the existing sewer pipes. The sewer pipes from the restroom, kitchen, and the existing bathrooms run through this space and out of the building on the southwest side to the sewer. And whenever we had a leak or something we had to get in there, we'd always have to have a plumber that'd have to completely suit up for entering a space that had asbestos in it because it was in the dirt, in the floor, it was on the pipe. So The asbestos abatement project was pretty intense. Not only did we have to remove the insulation that was on the pipes, but also dig up the dirt underneath the pipes that had asbestos in it. And then once that was all done, we actually encapsulated the whole crawl space with concrete so that, there's no longer an issue there. And then, for maintenance purposes from now and in the future, we won't have to worry about the asbestos in that space. That part of the project has been completed. And now we're looking at the restroom here. We did go out to bid with this. We opened bids back in September. On September 28th, we received 6 bids. The low bid was $551,604. There was probably 3 bidders that were all within about $10,000 of each other. So that tells me that is probably, that is what this project is worth. Unfortunately, this day and age, since COVID, we're seeing substantial increases in the price of materials, particularly HVAC equipment, and we are replacing the HVAC system that serves this space because it is 20 years old. It uses old refrigerant that is, environmentally not friendly. So we're replacing the entire HVAC system for this space as part of this project. And I think that's about it.
Any questions on the par 4 section of this? Okay. Representative Casper.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. One question on the HVAC replacement. Are you using a heat pump system so it'll be heat as well as cooling?
Yeah, there will be a heat pump, like a split system, so there will be heat. And I don't recall off the top of my head if there may be supplemental heat along the outside of the wall. But it's primarily a heat pump system.
Representative Merritt.
When will this project start?
Well, like I said, we've got the bids. We did request the contractors, the 2 low bidders, to hold their bids an extra 30 days, so they're valid until the end of the year. So, if this gets approved tonight, we would, start the contract process with the contractor, and then, probably start, January or February. We obviously have to coordinate with the par 4, the restaurant folks, because their bathrooms will be shut down during the duration of this project, and we don't want to really inconvenience them right in the middle of the summer. So trying to get it done, winter and early spring.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but I can see it's worth.
Any other questions on this portion of it? Representative Bailey.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. I have a kind of like it's an odd question, but if we had American Recovery Plan Act money, per se, would if it happened to be that way, I don't think we do, but if we did, would have been good for this project? That would be to the town manager, please.
Yeah, I mean, the ARPA funding is good for pretty much any CIP.
So it could have been, perhaps, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to the other section.
Okay, this is the Calvin Burrows Little League field restroom and concession building. This is just, don't really have a good location plan, but this is off South Road, right next to where the road always floods under the Amtrak overpass. Everybody knows where that is. This building was built over 30 years ago. It's a brick building. The exterior is actually, the brick is held up pretty well, but we are making this ADA accessible. Both the 2 restrooms, which, I don't know if I can zoom in. zoom into that one. There's a separate men's and women's room. The men's room has a toilet and a urinal and a sink, and then the women's room has one toilet and a sink. And then adjacent to that, we have a concession space where the Little League folks sell, food and whatnot during the game. So part of that problem with this one is there's a section of the counter has a roll-up door. The counter height is too high, so we have to lower that counter, so that requires us to put a new rolling counter door there. We're putting in some new stainless steel counters, rearranging the equipment in here so that we have the clearance requirements to maneuver around per ADA. And some of the bathrooms we're replacing the partitions and getting the proper clearances. We're replacing all the exterior doors, which are really in rough shape. New paint on the floor, new paint on the ceilings, because it's 30 years of wear and tear. New lighting and a new mechanical ventilation system for the bathrooms. I think that's about it on that one. We did bid this out back in August. We only had one bid in. Usually in the summertime when people are busy, it's hard to get bidders. We did get one bid. It was $233,000. We rejected that bid, so we're getting the plans ready to go back out to bid now. But we feel based on that bid that we need additional money to get this project completed.
Okay, any questions on the Calvin Burrows section of this resolution? Okay. Seeing none, we are voting on approving $400,000 from capital improvement project fund balance for the 2 bathroom projects. You can get stop sharing and get back to our full view.
Thank you very much for bringing the drawings.
There we go. Okay, all those in favor of approving the bathroom projects, please say aye or raise your hand if you're online.
Aye.
Okay. If you can lower your hands, please. Representative Wells and Representative Whitney, if you could lower your hands, please. Anyone opposed? Representative Bailey? Representative Gardner? Anyone abstaining? Okay, that motion passes 28-2-0. And our last item.
Our last item was 2022-312-8, the miniature bottle tax allocation method resolution approving the use of the 2023 funds collected for a surcharge on miniature liquor bottles. The resolution was read into the record by Representative Chase and so moved, seconded by Representative Massett. The committee asked, our discussion evolved with the committee asking about last year's funds being allocated and if they were run through the RTM. Manager Burt was going to check on that for us. We believe that it was. And the usefulness of the new trash collection solar stations was discussed. How the funds are distributed by the state was also discussed. After they collected it, it comes back in 2 different distributions to us for a yearly fund. What the specific uses of the fund can be spent on, Manager Burt, Director Barry, and Director Hanover gave us examples of the type of equipment being purchased, the sites that they can be used at, and this will further be explained tonight. Chairman Powers called for a vote, 7 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. So moved.
It needs to be read into the record first.
Huh?
Needs to be
Yeah,
read.
yes, Representative Gardner, could you please read the resolution into the record, please? Thank you.
Item number 2022-312, miniature liquor bottle tax allocation method. Resolution approving the use of 2023 funds collected from a surcharge on miniature liquor bottles. Whereas the state of Connecticut enacted a 5-cent surcharge on miniature liquor bottles, often referred to as nip bottles, through Public Act 21-58, and whereas the funds collected through the surcharge are transferred to the town from which the sale originated, and whereas Public Act 21-58 requires the payments received to be expended on environmental measures intended to reduce the generation of solid waste or reduce the impact of litter caused by solid waste, and whereas the town council had previously awarded calendar year 2022 funds split equally between the town's beautification committee and the town's solid waste fund. And whereas the town council desires to award funds from calendar year 2023 now, therefore be it resolved that the town council authorizes all funds collected in calendar year 2023 to be allocated as follows: 15% to be provided by the city of Groton, 42.5% to town's Department of Parks and Recreation for the purposes of solar trash compactors, 42.5% to the Department of Public Works to use towards the purchase of a mini trash vacuum. I so move.
Motion made by Representative Gardner, seconded by Representative Chase. I believe Representative Hainline left at some point. Representative Scott.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. There was a question that was brought to my attention, or concern rather, and I brought it up during the committee meeting, that previous distributions hadn't been properly vetted either through our budget process or through the RTM. The town manager, Bert, was supposed to check in on that, and I was just wondering what information he found.
Sure. By the way, Handline has reappeared under attendees and promoting.
Okay, sorry. Okay, she's back. So we're back up to.
Okay. I'm still looking at it. It looks like it might have got missed. I've got to look. Right after the council approved it, the RTM had a break that next month, that last July. So I'm still looking at it. It's looking like we didn't, but I'll have to talk to Betsy about that when she returns.
Okay, that was my question. Another representative who's on this panel brought it to my attention. So how do we fix that if it wasn't done correctly? And do we have to wait on this?
No, this one's totally.
Fixed first?
No, this one's totally separate from that.
So will that one come to the 34th RTM?
Yeah, it would come to the 34th.
Approval.
And I do have some, at the time the council passed this item, we didn't have our final miniature liquor bottle NIP funds, now we do. And we last week received our last payment for the year. So we received just over $89,000 for the year. So with the city at 15%, it'd be about just under $13,400. And then Parks and Rec and Public Works would be slightly under $38,000 each.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Aubry.
I know I'm a dollar short and a day late, but I think it's a shame that a small amount of this is not going to the Beautification Committee. The Beautification Committee's done a great deal for Groton, and we're very careful with the funds, how we use them, and there's projects all over town now, small, but many of them. And for there to be no allowance for them, to me, is a grave mistake. And I'm very disappointed that the council didn't look at that differently. And I think it should be changed. Thank you.
Representative Bailey.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. I have a question for the town manager. Because the Beautification Committee is in receipt of funds, is there a line item or something in a budget book or some kind of something that we see what's going in and what's going out?
Well, the finance director has a fund established, yes.
When would you expect possibly that might happen?
Well, there's already a fund, I just have to bring it back here, probably next month. Well, maybe it'll be January.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any other questions? Okay, then we are voting on the miniature liquor bottle tax allocation. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, if you can put your
Having
hands.
technology issues, I'm a yes as well.
Okay, Representative Hanscom and Jean Shinbrat? Yes, yes, okay. If you can lower your hands, please. Okay, anyone opposed?
No.
Representative Burrill, Representative Aubrey? Anyone abstaining? Okay, that motion passes 28-0. That is our last item.
Yep. Well, motion to adjourn was made by
I'm
Representative.
sorry, 28-2, 28
Sorry.
to 2-0. Thank you. Okay.
A motion was made by Representative Gardner, seconded by Representative Scott, and we adjourned at 7:38.
Thank you, Chair.
So move the minutes.
Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are passed. Okay, we're moving on. Any liaison reports tonight? Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Director Barry. Thank you, Director Hanover. Any additional budget discussion tonight? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go back to liaison reports. Representative Chase, do you want to send it out to everybody? What was it for? It was the joint meeting?
Yeah.
Would, just show of hands, would anybody like it read into the record, or would you like it just sent to you?
Just send it.
Send it? Any highlights that you want to share?
No.
Okay, all right, that will be sent out. You can just send that to the clerk's office, get sent forward. Okay, any budget discussions tonight? Any other business? Okay, I have a few things. One, I want to say congratulations to everyone who ran, everyone who won. Thank you all for being part of the process here. I want to thank everybody in the 33rd RTM for making this a great 2 years. We got a lot accomplished, and thank you for all of that. I want to say thank you to town staff for everything that they do for us. We really appreciate it. To Representative Caden, I want to say congratulations on your recent wedding. To Representative Gibbs, I had permission for this. I want to say congratulations on your twins. That is why she is not here tonight. She just had twins. And then I have proclamations for those of you who are not returning. So Representative, this is a certificate of appreciation to Representative Bright, who is not here tonight. To Representative Surf, who is also not here tonight. We'll get to someone. Representative Kathy Chase, thank you for your many years of service to the town of Groton. And I did give Representative Gauthier hers before she left.
Just a short break, that's all I need.
Okay, thank goodness. So like 2 months, 3 months?
2 years.
Thank you. Representative Eben is not here. Representative Gustafson. This is like the best part of this job. Representative Hainline, when you, will these be mailed out or will they be at the clerk's office?
Whatever they choose.
Okay, if you want to pick it up, Representative Hainline, it will be at the clerk's office. Otherwise, if you'd like it mailed to you, just give them a call. But thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Representative Pacino.
Hey, I know that guy. You are a guy.
Me. So,
And you? Thank you, Jill.
thank you. Representative Scott, thank you for your service to the town.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. It's been a pleasure to serve, and I'm going to miss everybody, and I wish the returning members for the next term the best of luck.
Thank you.
Representative Thomas is not here tonight. And Representative Weaver is not here tonight. All right, any other business? Yes, Representative Massett.
On behalf of, I think, everyone in this room, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful 2 years with your leadership.
Thank you. All right. That being said, is there any other business?
Oh, and was it Representative?
Oh, Representative Merritt should have gotten one.
Right. He merits one.
He merits one, you're right.
Representative Cimarero.
And Representative Cimarero. We are missing some. So if we can get those. Thank you, Representative Cimarero, for your service. And thank you, Representative Merritt, for your service. Are you coming back? Representative Watson, are you coming back? Yes? So thank you all. It's been a great 2 years. I appreciate everything you've done, and good luck to the 34th RTM. We are adjourned. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 8:48 p.m. 7:48 p.m.
7:48 p.m.